Over the next few videos, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to get started building your own synthesizers in Reaktor. I'm working in the standalone version, but you can follow along just as easily with Reaktor inside of a host program like Ableton or Pro Tools. The first thing we want to do to get started is to choose File, New Ensemble, and create a new empty ensemble. An ensemble in Reaktor is like a shell. It can be used to hold instruments and effects and various Reaktor components. In this case, we're only going to be working with a single empty instrument that's created by default when we create a new ensemble. I'm going to double click right here on this little tan area, beige tan area, and drill down inside of the empty instrument. And what we're looking at here are the components that come with any instrument. They're created by default with any new instrument. And what we have are the left and right audio in ports, which we don't need because we're creating a synthesizer, which will only be generating audio out. So I'm going to go ahead and select and delete those. And then over here we have what are called the left and right out ports, and then the voice combiners. So I'm going to take these and drag them over to the right a little bit so we have some more room to work. So if I want to go up a level inside of my Reaktor ensemble, what I do is double click on the background, and that takes me up a level. And so here we're seeing the empty instrument, a couple more left in ports here, which I can select and delete, and then out ports again. If I want to get back inside my instrument, I can select it, double click right in the middle there, and now I'm back inside of the instrument. So the first thing we need in any synthesizer is an oscillator. We create that by right-clicking or holding down the Control key and choosing Built-in Module, Oscillator, and I'm just going to select the first one at the top of the list here, Sawtooth Waveform Oscillator. The next thing we do is connect the out port from the Sawtooth Waveform Oscillator to the voice combiners. Sometimes that can be a little tricky. There we go. And we also need to create what are called controls here to let the oscillator know when a MIDI note's coming in and what note that is. So the way we create our controls, again, right-click or control-click, choose Built-in Module, MIDI in, Note Pitch, Built-in Module, MIDI in, Gate. So we're going to connect the note pitch to P for pitch on our oscillator, and we're going to connect the gate to A for amplitude. So now I'm going to reduce the volume a bit here, and I'm going to use my computer's keyboard to play some notes. So starting with the letter Z, and if you have a MIDI keyboard set up, you can also use that to trigger your notes, obviously. So this is the most basic, simple one oscillator synth that we can build in Reaktor. Now if we level up, and we go all the way up to the top level here, we are looking at what will be the instrument's interface. Now right now there's nothing populating that interface because all we have is our oscillator. If we want to make things a little more interesting, both from a synthesizer point of view and from the interface point of view, what we can do is drag this gate out, and we're going to create an envelope. So we go Built-in Module, LFO Envelope, and we'll choose ADSR to create a standard ADSR, Attack, Decay, Sustain, and Release envelope. So now we're going to take the out from the gate, connect it to the G for gate, and the out of the envelope, and connect it to A for amplitude. And now we need controls for the A, D, S, and R, the Attack, Decay, Sustain, and Release. The way we create those is actually just by control clicking or right clicking right on the A, create Control, D, S, and R. Now if we level up to the instrument's interface, you'll see that it's been populated by our 4 controls. The problem here is that when you create new controls or anything in the interface in a Reaktor instrument, they're automatically put in the upper left corner on top of each other. So what we need to do is unlock the panel. We do that with the key command Command P, or by clicking this wrench icon. And once the panel is unlocked, we can start moving these controls around. Another way to move them around is to select them and use the left and right and up and down arrows. And then once we've got everything in place, Command P, and we've locked it in place. So now we have access to these 4 parameters: fast attack, slow attack, fast attack, and a long release. Now going back inside of our device, double clicking to get inside, if we want the envelope icon to be visible, what we can do is select it here and then go over here to the View panel and choose Visible On. Now when we level back up to our instrument interface, we are looking at the actual visual representation of the wave, the envelope, sorry, not the wave, the envelope. And again, unlock it. And let's put it right there and lock it. And now you can watch this change as we adjust these parameters. In the next video, we'll start talking about adding a filter section to our synthesizer.